Lena and Mark, high school sweethearts, college sweethearts, now life partners. Their journey together began in the hallways of their high school, where shy glances and shared classes slowly blossomed into a deep, meaningful connection. They navigated the tumultuous waters of adolescence together, their bond growing stronger with each passing year. Their love story wasn't a whirlwind romance. It was a love that grew gradually, like a tree taking root and spreading its branches wide. They didn't rush into things. Instead, they took their time, savoring each moment and building a foundation that could withstand any storm. It was a slow, steady burn, a love that was nurtured with patience and care, like a gardener tending to a delicate flower. They knew that true love wasn't about grand gestures or fleeting passions, but about the small, everyday acts of kindness and understanding. Built on trust, respect, and unwavering support, they understood each other in ways that words could never fully capture. They knew when to give space and when to offer a comforting embrace. Their relationship was a dance of give and take, a perfect balance of independence and togetherness. They knew each other's dreams, fears, and hopes. They shared their deepest secrets and their wildest ambitions, always encouraging each other to reach for the stars. Their conversations were filled with laughter and tears, with moments of vulnerability and strength. Their life together was a testament to their enduring bond. They faced challenges head-on, always standing by each other's side. Whether it was a career setback or a personal loss, they knew they could weather any storm as long as they had each other. They had built a life together, a life filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the comforting rhythm of their love. Mark was a carpenter, a craftsman who took pride in his work. His hands, rough and calloused, built more than just furniture. They built a future for them both. His hands, rough and calloused, built more than just furniture. They built memories, each piece a testament to his love and dedication. Every nail hammered, every plank sanded was a labor of love, a gift to Lena and their life together. They built their home, their sanctuary, a place where they could escape the chaos of the world and find peace in each other's arms. Their home was filled with the warmth of their love, a haven where they could dream and create together. Lena was a writer, her words painting vivid pictures of their life together. She had a gift for capturing the beauty of their everyday moments, turning the mundane into the magical. Her stories were a reflection of their love, a testament to the life they had built together. Her latest project, a love story, was inspired by their own. She poured her heart into every page, drawing from their experiences and the deep connection they shared. It was a story of love, trust, and the unbreakable bond that held them together. Their evenings were spent in comfortable silence, Mark crafting in his workshop, the rhythmic thudding of his hammer a love song to Lena. She would watch him work, admiring the skill and dedication he put into every piece. It was in these quiet moments that their love shone the brightest. She would sit by the window, the soft glow of the setting sun illuminating her face as she poured her heart into her writing. The gentle rustle of the leaves outside and the distant hum of the city provided the perfect backdrop for her creativity. Their love was a quiet understanding, a shared glance, a knowing smile. They didn't need words to communicate. Their hearts spoke to each other in a language all their own. It was a love that was felt in the silence, in the spaces between words. They were two halves of a whole, their lives intertwined in a tapestry of love and commitment. They complemented each other perfectly, each bringing out the best in the other. Their love was a partnership, a collaboration of hearts and minds. Their happiness was palpable, a beacon of light in their small, close-knit community. They were the couple everyone looked up to, the embodiment of true love and partnership. Their love story was an inspiration to all who knew them. They were the couple everyone admired, the kind of love people dreamed of finding. Their relationship was a testament to the power of trust, respect, and unwavering support. They showed that true love was not just a fairy tale, but a reality that could be achieved with patience and dedication. Their love story was one for the ages, a testament to the enduring power of true connection. It was a story that would be told for generations, a shining example of what it means to love and be loved. Lena and Mark had found something truly special, a love forged in trust and built to last a lifetime. One cold December evening, their world shattered. The insistent rapping on the door jolted Lena from her writing. Her heart pounded as she rushed to answer it, a sense of dread creeping up her spine. It was the police. They were there for Mark, accused of embezzlement from his workplace. Lena watched in disbelief as they slapped handcuffs on her husband, his face a mask of confusion and fear. The world tilted on its axis. Lena's breath hitched in her throat, her mind refusing to process the scene unfolding before her. Embezzlement? Mark? It was preposterous. Mark, with his honesty so deeply ingrained, wouldn't even dream of such a thing. Lena, as Lena. It's a mistake. He would never do something like this. Her words were met with stoic silence. The officers, their faces hardened, remained unmoved. They led Mark away, his pleas of innocence echoing in the cold night air. Lena stood on the porch, the echo of Mark's fading voice ringing in her ears. The weight of the accusation pressed down on her, threatening to crush her. It felt surreal, a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. The warmth of their home suddenly felt cold, empty without Mark's presence. Her heart ached with a pain so profound it took her breath away. Life as Lena knew it had vanished. The days that followed were a blur of legal consultations, frantic phone calls, and sleepless nights. The weight of Mark's absence pressed down on her, suffocating her. The laughter that once filled their home was replaced by a deafening silence. Lena threw herself into proving Mark's innocence, clinging to it as a lifeline. She spent her days poring over legal documents, her nights visiting Mark in that cold, sterile prison cell. Each visit chipped away at her soul, the sight of Mark, his spirit slowly breaking, unbearable to witness. Her work suffered. The words that once flowed effortlessly from her fingertips now felt stilted, lifeless. Her love story, once a testament to their enduring bond, lay abandoned, a painful reminder of what she feared she might lose. She clung to the belief in his innocence, the only shield against the despair threatening to consume her. Her friends and family rallied around her, offering words of comfort and support, but their reassurances rang hollow in her ears. The only voice she yearned for was Mark's, the only comfort his presence. But Mark was gone, swallowed by a system that seemed determined to break him, and she, despite her best efforts, felt powerless to stop it.
Know you've been a good friend.
Section 4. A shoulder to lean on, Jake's support. Amidst the chaos, an old friend resurfaced. Jake. They had gone to school together, and his feelings for Lena back then were no secret. Their bond was strong, forged in the fires of adolescence and shared experiences. Life had taken them down different paths, but he had heard about Mark's arrest and reached out. Despite the years and the distance, his concern for Lena had never waned. He offered a sympathetic ear, a shoulder to cry on. In those moments of vulnerability, Lena found solace in his unwavering support. He helped with the legal fees, easing her financial burden. The weight of the world seemed a little lighter with Jake by her side, sharing the load. He became Lena's rock, her constant in the storm that had engulfed her life. His presence was a beacon of hope in her darkest hours. Jake was there for her every step of the way. Whether it was a late-night phone call or a last-minute visit, he never hesitated to be there when she needed him. He accompanied her on prison visits, his presence a source of comfort in the cold, impersonal visiting room. The sterile environment felt a little warmer with Jake's reassuring presence. He helped her navigate the complexities of the legal system, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to her own frantic energy. His knowledge and patience were invaluable. He brought back a semblance of normalcy to her life. In the midst of chaos, Jake's steady presence was a reminder of simpler times. He would drop by with groceries, a warm meal, a listening ear. These small acts of kindness meant the world to Lena, who often felt overwhelmed and alone. He filled the void left by Mark, his presence a comforting, if complicated, constant in her life. The lines between friendship and something more began to blur. He never pushed, never overstepped. Jake respected Lena's boundaries, understanding that she needed time and space to heal. He was just there, a steady presence in her chaotic world. His reliability was a source of strength for Lena, who often felt like her life was spiraling out of control. Lena found herself leaning on him more and more. His support was a lifeline, helping her stay afloat in the turbulent waters of her life. He was her confidant, her friend, her rock. In Jake, Lena found someone she could trust implicitly, someone who understood her in ways no one else could. He was the one person who seemed to understand her pain, her desperation. His empathy was a balm to her wounded soul. He was her lifeline in a sea of uncertainty and despair. With Jake by her side, Lena felt a glimmer of hope, a promise of better days to come. Section 5. Jake's true colors. But as weeks turned into months, Lena became aware of a shift in Jake's demeanor. It was subtle at first, almost imperceptible. A lingering glance here, a slightly too long touch there. She tried to brush it off, attributing it to stress or fatigue from the intense cricket season. His touch lingered a little too long, his compliments became a touch too personal. What once felt like friendly banter now carried an undercurrent of something more, something that made Lena's heart race, but not in a good way. The concern in his eyes seemed to hold something more, something that sent a shiver down her spine. It was as if he was trying to communicate something unspoken, something that words could not capture. His attentiveness, once comforting, began to feel suffocating. He was always there, always watching, always ready to step in. What used to be a source of support now felt like a cage, trapping her in a web of expectations and unspoken demands. His constant presence, a reminder of her own vulnerability, started to feel like a weight around her neck. She couldn't escape it, couldn't find a moment of peace. It was as if he was always there, a shadow that loomed over her every move. His kindness, his unwavering support, began to feel less selfless, more like an unspoken bargain. It was as if he was keeping a tally, waiting for the moment when he could cash in on all the favors he had done for her. Jake, as Jake. "I've always loved you, Lena," he admitted, his voice husky with emotion. The words hung in the air, heavy and oppressive, like a storm cloud ready to burst. "I know this is a difficult time, but I can't keep pretending." His words were a confession, a plea, and a demand all rolled into one. They left Lena reeling, unsure of how to respond. "I'm here, always, if you need me." The promise, once a source of comfort, now felt like a chain, binding her to him in ways she hadn't anticipated. His words, instead of comforting her, sent a wave of unease washing over her. She felt trapped, cornered by his expectations and her own sense of obligation. The line had been crossed. There was no going back to the way things were before. The innocence of their friendship had been tainted, replaced by a complex web of emotions and unspoken desires. The realization hit her like a ton of bricks. She had always valued Jake's friendship, but now she saw it for what it truly was, a calculated move, a strategic play to win her over. Jake's kindness wasn't entirely altruistic. It was a means to an end, a way to position himself as her savior, her protector, her everything. He saw an opportunity in her vulnerability, a chance to stake his claim. Lena found herself torn. She cared for Jake, valued his friendship and support, but now she questioned the motives behind his actions. She cared for Jake, valued his friendship and support, but his confession had shifted the dynamics of their relationship, casting a shadow over their interactions. Every touch, every glance, every word now carried a weight it hadn't before. But his confession had shifted the dynamics of their relationship, casting a shadow over their interactions. What was once simple and straightforward had become complicated and fraught with tension. His presence, once a source of comfort, now brought a wave of guilt and confusion. She felt guilty for not reciprocating his feelings, confused about how to navigate this new terrain. The game they played on the field was nothing compared to the emotional game they were now entangled in.